Hey, it's Biddy Penny. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to play around and make some more painted papers together. I've got just a whole stack of random stencils here from all different brands. I grabbed, honestly, the stencils were at the top of my box. Just grabbed a handful. I have my gel press plate, and this one is an 8 by 10, so this is the biggest one I have, I think. I thought I had a 9 by 12. Anyways, it doesn't matter. I grabbed, again, the paints that were at the top of the stack. This was a quick prep video. It took me about 2 minutes. And then I grabbed a stack of paper. This is a variety. I honestly have a bunch of paper off to the side. I don't know where it's from, what it is. It doesn't have its packaging. And then I have this other plate that I'm going to roll off on with my ink brayer. As you can tell, I'm pretty sure, yeah, these are two different brands. You can get gel plates from Speedball, from Jelly Arts. I think that's where this one's from. But yeah. All right. Kind of hard to open. Okay, there we go. I always keep the clamshells that they come in. And let's get this going. If you don't have a gel plate, don't stress. You can still make painted papers with just acrylic paint and brushes and doodling and whatever, you know, you do have. And I would definitely say that a jelly plate, if you watch jelly plate videos, it's definitely worth the investment. If it's an effect that you like, it's something I love. You can gel print die plates. I just looked over and saw these Tim Holtz dies that I bought from his last release and thinking, wow, those would be fun to gel print, but they're not die cut yet. So we'll just see. I'm going to turn my 8 by 10 this way so that you guys can definitely see it. You can see the roll off and the plate. Fabulous. It's not exactly square, and that don't care. It's not square and I don't care. All right, so here we go. I'm gonna get a couple of other items out too, because I never use them unless I'm jelly printing, and that is my pan pastels. I also have a drawer full of sprays. We can use watercolor. I mean, the options are wide open, basically. That's a watercolor palette there. I also have these smaller, these were on sale at Spellbinders years ago for like an unbelievable price. So I just picked them all up. They were like $2 or $3 each. Okay, let's get this party started. Now, one thing you would want to do before you start a gel printing session is to have a clear space for all of your prints to dry. I did not do that, so that's okay. I'll figure it out. This is my granulating watercolors, so I think that I'll play with those on this gel plate as well. Okay, I'm going to use, you know, different mediums, but then I'll use the acrylic to pick things up. Let's just get started. Let's just simply play and have some fun. I like this. This reminds me of Mermaid a little bit. It's from Dina Wakley. It's called Pointed. But it's kind of making me, it's giving me mermaid vibes, and this is Mermaid after all. So I'm just going to kind of tap this down. Okay. I'm not going to have any wet medium going through it though, because I'm using pan pastels first. All right, let me get a sponge or brush for these. Let's see how this brush does. It is, hold on, that one honestly is just too nice for this project. Let's grab this one. I put these Dina Wakley brushes to the test every time. I almost ordered some again the other day because I just love the Dina Wakley mixed media brushes. And I don't think I have any round ones. I'm just going to kind of come along with a few different colors. I love Jane Davenport so much. Lindsay, the Frugal Crafter, interviewed her the other day, and that was fun. But you know, Jane definitely, she has an aesthetic in her product where, like, this feels like makeup, you know? And I don't know, she just likes to make everything so beautiful, even just the product and how you use it. So we've got the blue. I'm not going to worry about cleaning off my brush. It won't matter. Now I'm going to come in with a green, and we're just going to make this kind of mermaid scale. I have seen people use actual makeup palettes like this if they didn't have the pastels that I have. You know, if they don't have pan pastels, you could also get the really cheap chalk pastels. I think I have some. I don't know if they're handy. I'll take a look and see. We can test them together. I haven't used them on the palette because I have these and only use my pan pastels when I'm gel printing. Okay. I'm going to get a number of these on there, but I don't have to do the whole stencil. All right. Ooh, let's use this real, like, beautiful kind of, it's almost like a royal blue color. I hope you guys are having an awesome day. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. I hope you're enjoying these real-time videos. It's just a new format I'm trying, so, you know, I'm open to your feedback. For the first, like, 3 or 4 years I was on YouTube, I edited everything, and now I'm kind of not. So, you know, it's just interesting. I'm just kind of blowing off the excess dust there, and I think that is enough of the mermaid scales. I'm going to dust my palette by blowing on that as well. Let's come in with some more stencils. I had these ones I've never used before. These are pretty cool. I'm going to lay a couple of these out. I don't know what results I'm going to get today. Oh, these are brand new, so they still have Dina puts these clear little stickers to hold these on. They're actually really handy, and I like them. But yeah, I'm just going to put these randomly on here. Then we'll lay down some acrylic ink, and we'll do a pull, and we'll see what we get. Okay, looks good to me. Now, let's do the ink. I'm going to move my dry brush and palette off to the side. We will be going back and forth on that. You can use alcohol inks, watercolor. Again, you can use all kinds of mediums on your gel plate. The thing to be mindful of is, like, I wouldn't want to put watercolor on top of the dry pastel because it'll move it all around. It'll smear it. It will distort the pattern that we just created. So, you know, I'm going to put a acrylic ink on top of the dry medium, and that way we can pick it up and not just, you know, mess it up. All right, I'm gonna put, this is like a bright, dreamy lemon yellow from Arteza. And let's do it with this green, this turquoise kind of, ooh, that's a lot. It's more than we need. Okay, I'm just gonna kind of move this around a little bit. Okay. And then this is where I can just roll off the excess here. I'm going to pick up a few of these. I'll roll this on there too. We can do multiple pulls of this much paint. Okay. Put this over here. Again, probably way too much. Okay, I'm going to pull off the moon now. Move that over here. At least I think of that as being a moon. Pull that one off. Let's put this one on. We'll have like a little mini print too. Okay, now I'm gonna let this dry, and then I'm gonna come back and I'm going to put another layer of paint on it and pull it. In the meantime, let's go ahead and pull the little mini one over here. I'll be able to fit 2 of these on a page, which is one reason why I chose this size of a block. So that's our first pull. That's so fun. I love that. You get a little bit of each of the little items, and I like the difference in color and pattern. And then these are luminescent. See, they're kind of like metallic paint, metallic acrylic. It's gonna take a little while for this to dry, you guys, because it's raining. It's raining here today, so it's probably the worst time when it's really humid to do a gel printing and paper, painted papers, but we're doing it anyways. All right, let's pick another color. Let's do a little bit of pink. Love this pink. And I like it when the color's not just everywhere on the plate. I like varying colors and varying saturations of color on my plate, personally. So I'm going to pick these up now. Let's just let that dry a little. I'm going to kind of fan this with a stamping block to expedite the dry time here. Help expedite the dry time. We can pull with book pages. Let's do some of that too. You don't want to put heat on, y'all might be thinking like, oh, just use your heat tool to, no heat on these. Not a good idea, but you can do what I just did. You can fan them, but don't put any heat on them. Let's see what we get over here now. Love that. How it makes me think of like summer and watermelon, these colors together. Love that. Love the bit of ghosting that's still here. I'm checking this one over here as we go. It's still a little too damp. Let me put this kind of mermaid scale back down. I'm going to go with this blue. It's really soft blue. Blue fog. That's what this is called. Oh, should have shaken that a little more. No problem. I'm going to have some blue scales here. And I'm going to go ahead, I think, and pull that. I'm trying to decide. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and pull that. Oh, I love it. I like it just like that. But I'm going to let this side dry now, and we'll pick it up with another color. I may even come back and stamp on it a little bit, but we can always stamp these later. I think this one is close, pretty close. Acrylic paint usually dries quickly. Again, it's pouring down rain outside, so that's the issue. Be good to have an apron on if you're doing this kind of project. I do not have one on, and I am a little nervous. This paint will not come out of your clothing, but it'll be okay. See, I like this. I like the pattern that I get when I just even do barely spreading the paint across the plate. Wish this was more dry. Jelly printing is great in the summertime in Texas. Let's pull this. Let's see what we get. I'm going to leave this down for a second. That'll give this a little more time to dry too. We'll see how many of these we get done today. And I could leave it and let it dry and all that, but it's not really necessary. And I like leaving layers on my gel plate. So that is so fun. I love the bright colors. I just love everything about it. Here is where the pastels were, and they are locked in. They get locked into the paper with the acrylic, so you don't have to worry about them rubbing off, but you can definitely see that kind of mermaid pattern in the background, all the little objects we laid, and then our pink blobs from not just covering the plate in color and saturating it. And one of the things I'm really liking about this print is that the edges are soft. So I don't feel the harsh edges of like an 8x10 print on an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. I like the soft edges that I have here. So, okay, let's do more. Once this isn't too tacky, I can definitely come back in again and I can add more pastels. Look, I haven't touched this one. It has the embossing of a mermaid scale on it. Jane, she thinks of so many cool things. Okay, I think what I'm gonna do is actually hit this side. You know, this is like a mask. I can do that. Now I have to pull these off. I was originally planning on keeping these clear plastic pieces on, but I'm gonna have to pull them off to proceed the way I want. Okay. This itself can become, you know, a mask for your design. I'm going to go in with my finger, I think, and tap these in. I want to keep my brush dry. It can handle it. The brush can have acrylic. It's a mixed media brush. Pastel, watercolor, you can do all the mediums, but I'm just using my finger. Gel printing may not be for everyone if you don't like getting messy. I have always loved paint and putting my fingers in paint and getting messy. I'm good with that, but I know that's not for everyone. Okay, we'll add a little silver. I'm doing like a gradient here with that one. We can go for some bright purple and pink as well. Maybe you picked these up before, these Jane Davenport pastels, or somebody else's, and they've been sitting in your stash and you didn't know what to do with them, and you have a gel plate. I don't gel plate all that often. Like, I really don't. I gel plate a couple of times a year. If you want to see someone who does it all the time, you've got to go check out Devon, Rex for Art. She gel plates, uses a gel plate all the time. It's her jam. So if you're looking for a gel plate channel, that's the one I would recommend. She and I started our channels around the same time, and we found each other. I think back then, I don't know if YouTube still does the same thing, but back then YouTube would recommend channels that were around the same size as yours. And so I would find channels back in the day that were about the same size as my own, and she was one, and she's just real sweet, real talented, really good with a gel plate. I'm not gonna be able to line this up, and I'm not worried about it. Okay, and let's put the moon down over here. Okay. I don't know if I'll keep, I don't think I'll keep this down, but I'll put those things down. We'll just see what we can get. I've never done it like this, and I think that that's what I like about the gel plate is the experimentation. There's really no rules, you know, other than like no heat. But other than that, there's really no rules. You get to experiment, play, have fun, and I mean, you would have to be extremely intentional to get the same results more than once. I have done it with my children. We didn't get the exact same results, but we got similar results. I had, when they were homeschooled during COVID, I was their art teacher. Makes sense, right? And I taught them gel plates. Gel printing was one of the art forms we did together. And we could get similar results where we would use similar techniques and things, but it was never exact, which for me is appealing. Okay, let me pick, I'm going to pick a thicker paper now. I've got some heavyweight cardstock here, and I'm going to use this to pull. I think what we'll have from this is some really strong areas of the pastel. Although I do want to kind of lock that pastel in, so I'm going to let this dry a little bit. And then I'm going to pull it with kind of a neutral silver color that I have. But we're going to go ahead and pull this one. Ooh, I like that. It's very subtle, but I really like it. Really like that. Okay. Yes, let me see. This is actually kind of drying it, I think, enough. So I'm going to use this real light silver color to pull this print. And I want to lock in that blue dry pastel, the chalk pastel. Okay. I think this is going to be pretty magical, I have to say. Not because of me, but because it's gel printing, which always feels a little bit magical to me. All right. Just gonna rub it down good. Rice paper is really great. Tissue paper is really wonderful as well to pull on. I like putting it on in journals and stuff, so I tend to stick to either copy-weight paper or cardstock, which is what this is. And oh yeah, I love all of that. Look at that moon area. This feels ancient, you know? That's one of the things I really like, is kind of the ancient art kind of feeling of a gel print. This one is fabulous. Okay. I'm going to go back in and I'm going to do something different this time with the stencil. I'm still going to have ghosting here of the scales from the dry pastels. Now, I happen to have a little bit of alcohol ink on my desk. It's a pearl one, so I've got to mix it well. But let's do a little alcohol ink. I really want you to see that a lot of mediums are invited and fine to play with on the gel plate. Now, some of these can stain your plate, but it won't affect its performance. And you can clean your plate with like mineral oil, baby oil, different things like that. I'm gonna just turn this over. We're gonna offset this over here again. And I'm gonna do the same thing on this little one. Now, there's not a lot of drama there, right? Not yet. But the thing about gel printing is you work in layers. And that's why it's unpredictable, is because you're just kind of working in layers. Okay, so there's the alcohol ink. Let's grab some more stencils. Ooh, I like this. I like all of them, obviously, or I wouldn't buy them. But this one's really fun. A new to me stencil from Simon. I'm going to go in with a rich gold, and I'm just going to put a tiny bit. When I say it, well, that's not a tiny bit, I know, but I'm just going to put a little bit and just try to get a few stars here. A little patch of stardust. And I'll bring it over here. Okay, and I'll put some over here. I like that this is going to be kind of a micro version of the larger one. Obviously, the less paint that you put on your plate, the more you brayer it out, the quicker it will dry. Let's play with some watercolor. This one we're throwing a little bit of everything at this. We still have some dry pastel. We have alcohol ink. We have acrylic paint. And now I'm going to throw a little bit of watercolor into the mix. Let's do this dark one. I'm needing more water. Just grab some from this broken bottle that I have. I'm gonna just use it as my water container for now. And I am really enjoying these kind of silhouette stencils. I don't have very many in my stash. I have a whole bunch in a wish list with PM art, something like that. I've just found the ladies. But yeah, I do have a bunch from my wish list with them. These water brushes are terrible. They just don't squeeze out enough water without opening them up. I'm just going to do a pool of granulating color here and not worry about a stenciled image. I'm very free in this process. I don't stress out about anything. I don't try to plan specific outcomes. For me, it's like, oh, a process where I can be completely free, I'll take it, and then I run with it. Okay, I think I want a little bit of purple in here too. I'm going to use this Purpurite Genuine. Just going to tap it. Oh, that's water brush. Tap it in over here. I haven't played with this palette in a long time, or even very much. It'll be fun to see what we get from here. Now, obviously, if this is all pulled up like this, it's going to take forever to dry. So I'll try to soak some of it up once I get kind of a pattern I like. All right. Okay, just soak a little bit of the puddleness up. The puddleness, that is a made-up word. That is not a word, and it's still gonna puddle. Okay, no problem. I'm not even gonna wait for it to dry. I'm just gonna pull it. We'll see what it does. Again, experimentation, no stress, no worries. This is the Hakuna Matata of art. Okay, it's our problem-free philosophy around here. Gel printing. All right, and now I'm gonna spread a little bit of this over here too. Haven't forgotten about the little guy. Let's see what we get. I'm pulling on this cardstock. And if we don't like it, there's another side. There's this side. Let's pull this one too. This one's not very wet, so I don't know that we'll get very much paint off of the palette, but who knows? Not me. No, not enough. I think I need more moisture, but I actually really like the fact that these are very subdued and very subtle. I'm not mad about it. Let's check this guy. Oh, good. We're getting a lot off of this one. Nice pull. Really like that. I really like that. Okay. Let's do more. Let's go to the jungle. I have this giraffe print. We'll go from the ocean to the jungle. And bring in pastels again with my dry brush. I happen to have these really warm colors, so I'm just gonna tap it in. Tap, tap it in. Now, obviously, the jungle has stars too, and we're still going to have some stars around on this. And instead of thinking of this shape as mermaid scales, we can think of them as leaves on trees. Maybe we'll pull with green and gold and things like that. I'm gonna mix my colors even. It's okay. Okay, just gonna drag some of that out. Let's put some hot pink in there. Ever seen a giraffe with hot pink stripe or spots? Me neither. But it can happen here at the paper playground. Okay. Let's do a little more over here. Ooh, this is pearlescent and so pretty. So, so pretty. Let's put some of that over here too. I'm gonna put a lot more acrylic paint on this one and pull. I can't wait to see how this one pulls because it has so many layers of paint built up on the gel plate. I think that's enough. Okay. All the stencils are going to need a bath after this. Okay, let's do more. Let's emphasize this one again. Let's bring this one back. But this time it's going to be leaves. I'm going to use actually I think I'll use this bright metallic color. A dab will do. And we don't have to get the whole thing everywhere. We can turn the leaves different directions. Let's turn it this way over here. You guys, this one's going to be so cool once we get all the paint off of there. I can come back over it here pretty quickly and pull it. I'm going to pull it with a soft pink. Now I am going to get this all over the plate because I want to pull as much of this as I can. I'm going to work quickly here and take my paper straight to it. I feel like I have multiple sheets. Oh, this is like some kind of chipboard. Like I said, the pile of paper, if you just have random pieces of paper, just put them to the side and save them for gel printing. This is chipboard. See how it does. It's a thin chipboard, but it's a chipboard. Oh, I just think that is so pretty. It reminds me of like stucco, and you know, it just is very subtle in the patterns, which I like. Now, this one I think is dry enough that we can come in and pull this one too. Let's do a bright turquoise. I kind of picked my colors thinking of summer. Summer in this household is like 3 weeks away. Not decided by weather, but by children. Summer is coming. I'm so excited. So excited. Get to have my babies home with me all the time. Even though they're not little babies, they're always my babies. And I'm real excited about it. We're going to pull this one again too. This is going to pretty much clean off that plate. When we do, it should pretty much clean it off at this point. And we'll be wrapping up our session here pretty soon. Ooh, those are nice. I like it. Let's pull the big one. Oh, this is interesting paper. I think it's a slick 32-pound copy paper. If this is something you're enjoying, let me know. We'll come back and jelly print again. I've been promising more painted papers. We've had a couple of sessions already, but I just want to do more. Oh, wow. Okay, I don't know if my camera, yeah, it's picking it up. See how iridescent that pan pastel is? It's a metallic one from Jane Davenport. The metallic comes through and it's locked in. It's not going anywhere, y'all. It is so cool. I love that. I really have to turn it for you to see it on camera, but yeah, I like that. And we don't have to stop there. If we want more, you can layer on this, but then you will probably lose that metallic sheen because you do need to think about the layers of the fact that we put the dry metallic pan pastel first, then it's going to be the first layer that you see here because we put it first on the plate, and then you're working your way backwards. So we pulled with the green color. The green color is the background, and we stenciled in a little bit more of the leaves and things. So you have to think about what order. If you put paint down first and then you put your dry pastel down and it has a metallicness to it, you're not going to get the metallic probably because it's going to be already locked into the paint layer that you put down. Hope that makes sense. I think I explained it okay. Let's use this one. I really love this stencil because it kind of has like a cartoon effect to it where I could see myself coming in and stamping in certain circles, or you know, it kind of has that cartoon vibe. So I want to do this one. This will be our last go for this video. But we, you know, the great thing is once you've got your supplies out, and you know, it moves pretty quickly, the process. Just layering colors. You can do gradation on these, so you could do like half the circle in blue and half of it in green and get some fun gradation of color. We can do some in silver. And all blue. Again, you don't have to do them all, but you can. I think I'm just going to do one more down here in the corner. I'll do that one silver as well. Okay. Move the stencil over. We'll bring it over here. We'll do the same over here. Actually, on this one, I think I'm going to do it in acrylic because we have so many layers of acrylic now. There's a couple of patches where this will shine through where it's, if you can see just the gel plate, which I can see now, I have pulled the prints enough that some of the gel plate is exposed, but not very much. So I'm just going to fill in with the excess that's on my brush in those spots. All right, let's do more stenciling. I have some lovely stencils from Uniquely Creative. Maybe we can kind of get like a hippy dippy kind of pattern going on with these flowers. This is Uniquely Created Lavish stencil. You can be selective about your stenciling, just like we've been selective about our pastel. Sorry, I'm just trying to find a brush that is not nice. One that's not precious. And so we can just kind of stencil on. Maybe you just want pink flowers. We can be selective and just do pink flowers. I definitely recommend having a cup or a bowl of water for this process. I did not go that far with mine. But I do have this broken water bottle over here that has a teensy bit of water in it. So we'll just use that. Let's bring in a green and hit some of the leaves with a green color. I'm going to squeeze. I have a pretty dirty brush. I'm not going to put that in my paint bottle, so I'm just going to squeeze a little bit out onto my glass mat. There we go. And I'll pick up from there. Precision isn't necessary here. But I am going to get all of those green leaves there. That's kind of fun. Very, oh, I think that's going to be pretty, you guys. Okay, we got a little bit of this stencil. Let's lay this one down. So this is where all the paint is, and it's wet. So I'm going to lay it down on here. And I'm going to grab a scrap piece of paper. Really doesn't matter. The back of this one is a nice, you know, you can make that, whatever. Just gonna mash it down. That's all I'm trying to do. We'll get a little bit back there, but I'm not mad at it. Okay, and I'm just gonna leave that there for a minute. Now, I don't want to waste any paint. So I'm just gonna kind of blob some paint around too and carry this color. I have a little bit of pink left on my brush still. Carry some of this color throughout the print. Make it look a little more harmonious. That all the design isn't just stuck here. We're just taking a little bit. I have a little bit left on the top of here, it looks like. We'll just kind of fill in random spots. Let's do some more of that. Let's do it with a pink. Okay, we can just fill in a few spots. They almost are going to look like flowers themselves. And we'll give this a few little splotches of love over here. We can come in and do a little over these flowers too. How many rules are in gel printing? Everyone say it together. Oh. Or 1, no heat guns. There we go. Oh my gosh, this is going to be so pretty. It's going to be so pretty. I want it to dry because I don't want to disrupt our pattern. So I need it to dry. While it dries, let's look at what we made so far. I think it would be really pretty to come along here and stamp on this. It doesn't have to be done. If this is too basic for you, don't worry. You can print on top of this, you can stamp on top of this, you can use acrylic markers, more paint, more stencils. You can do anything your heart desires. We have these really subtle pulls that we did, and I like them a lot. And again, that is just like some random, this comes in the printer paper, my photo paper that I use for printing. And I just plopped it over. I have a pile of random paper that I don't know what it is or where it came from, and I keep it all in a pile for gel printing. And I actually keep it with my stencils, and I keep it with my gel plates. So it does have a home in the craft room. All these are pretty, you know, some of these are pretty subtle, but if you can imagine cutting this up, this would be beautiful. Even in its subtleness, this has the stars, this has the leaves or scales. But you could draw on top of this with like a micron pen or stencil on it. I really loved this one and how this came out. It does, all these have that metallic sheen going on. Really, really pretty. We still have a couple more. This one. See, it goes quick. Once you start gel printing, it's kind of a prolific process. I do like picking a palette. So we kind of have two different palettes going on here, you know. We've got definitely the green and pink. And then we kind of have our subtles where I used more of the gray and the golden sunset and like that mahogany kind of colored alcohol ink. So, you know, we have a couple of color palettes here, but I would keep the color palette limited. Just think in advance. That's what I did today of like, hey, I want to be crafting for summer, and what are some fun summer colors that I might want to use. So yeah, that'll help. I'm just trying to dry this a little bit. So pretty. I really love this. You know what I've never pulled on before is acetate. I have a random piece of acetate right here. I was cutting for my daughter's science experiment. Let's just do a little boop. Just you know, just a little, see a little blip of it and see what happens. I've never pulled on acetate. It works. I didn't want to, if I really wanted to pull, I would put, like I have to put another layer of paint down to pull this up, but I just wanted to see, since this is a little wet, what it would do. It definitely pulls on. Oh, it's so hard to show you. It definitely picked it up. Well, well, well. I'm gonna have to try that at some point, not today. Okay, I think I want to do this soft blue. I think it's gonna be really pretty. So I'm gonna go ahead, plop a couple of drops, and I'm gonna have a big sheet and a little sheet. I have a feeling I'm gonna want more and more of these. I'm gonna pull from this one first because it's more dry, essentially. I do want to get this whole print, so I'm gonna cover the whole thing with wet paint. And I'm going to pick it up pretty quickly here. I'm going to put it on cardstock. If I let this dry a little while, then I'll get more of the paint off the plate. I'm gonna let her sit there for a little bit. All right, let's do this one. Some of this is more dry than other pieces, so I'm gonna just lay that out like that. Now I'm gonna come in with another color. Let's do a little bit of this one. I'm gonna put a little bit of this one in. I'm not wanting to drag too hard on this because I don't want to distort our images. They're not fully dry. Let's come in with a luminescent yellow. You can never go wrong with yellow if it's your favorite color. And we're gonna really, now that I have a kind of a barrier, I can make sure I'm going to get the full print here. Okay, that will do. And mash it down. Now, if I wanted to diffuse the edges, I should have done it before I laid my paper down, but what you can do is take a cloth and dab the edges before you pull your print, and you will diffuse the edges of your print. Okay, let's see how this one's doing over here. It's pulling. I'm not losing any paper. I'm just taking it nice and slow because it was dry. And this is what we got. We didn't get a strong flower pattern, but we got some. Although I do just love the variation of what we got. And I love that it looks like texture, but of course it's just one flat layer of paint. We got the leaves and the mermaid scales and a little bit of the flowers and a lot. See my plate, how the edges have that around them? We can pull that up. I'm going to do this soft blue. I'm not even going to worry about stencils and all that right now. Even when you're trying to wrap it up and say, okay, this is my last, it's hard. It's hard to wrap up gel printing. I think you probably just have to turn the camera off because it just keeps going and going and going. Let's put this down right in the middle. I'm gonna do just a copy weight paper, and I'm gonna pick this up real quick. I now want a little bit of pink. A little bit of paint goes a really long way. I don't have any special paint. This is all just, you know, Apple Barrel and Anita's. It's just craft paint. not great, not fantastic. That's okay, because you can come back in here with your brush and your paint. Let's pick different colors. Ooh, let's go really, I haven't had any red today. Let's do a little bit of red. Just for the fun of it. I'm gonna paint in right on top of this gel plate and stencil. The stencil is tacky with all the paint that's on it. So my fingers are sticking to it. See if we can get some hippy dippy baloney out of this. I'm going to lay this back down, and I'm going to pull in the leaves. Okay. I think I'll just basically color this in. It's going to be, this paint's a little bit transparent. I don't have this stencil down in a way that I'm going to get a real sharp design. We're just trying to make any kind of improvement on that print that we can. You can print over it, but I'm just showing you other options. Not great, so let's just print over it. I don't love it, but that's fine. We'll just go to our gel plate and make amends. I need to pick up this red paint. I have a feeling I will get it everywhere if I don't. Okay. And by everywhere, I just mean all over me. Let's do some stars. I did love this stencil. And my order just arrived from Ranger. It's in the mailbox. These kind of remind me right now, I'm getting like starfish vibes from this stencil. I'm gonna let that dry for a minute. Let's pull this one. She's just been sitting over here. Yes. Waiting for this moment. And it was worth it. I love it. We definitely had more success with this one as far as the flowers coming through. Love the colors. We've got the dry pastel, our kind of faux flowers around. It's not shocking. It's very subtle, but it's beautiful. Beautiful for a background, beautiful for a journal. This may be my favorite print of the day. This one may become our favorite print. We're just not going to give up on it yet. That's fun. Oh, the stars definitely helped it a lot. Plus, it was still wet when I mashed it down, which kind of mashed down these areas. I actually really like that. You know, I've got to pull this and then I will let you go because I have a clean plate over here. It's pretty clean. And we're going to have a pretty clean plate over here as well. I just can't help myself. I'm going to pull until there is nothing left on my gel plates. It's who I am. I've accepted it. Okay. I'm going to give this a minute to do its thing. You know, I'll be coming back and making things to these papers. Obviously, I also just love keeping a stack ready to go in my stash. So, you know, some of them you may not see me create something for some time, but they're going to be there. And I love that. I love having, you know, just like you might have stacks, well, at least I do, of 12 by 12 paper laying around and 6 by 6 paper. Well, it's nice to have stacks of gel prints and painted papers as well, if that's your vibe. It's definitely my vibe. I love the artsy flair of having painted papers. They just feel, you can feel that they're handmade. Okay, so I'm putting both of my plastic sheets back on and I'm putting my gel print plate up. It's dry. You always want to make sure it's dry. It's relatively clean. I mean, I like leaving a little for the next session, a little bit of interest. This one should be ready to pull. We don't even know, you know, it may not even be that fabulous, but we're going to pull it. You can also keep a stack of your gel prints around that you want to keep printing on. So if you have some duds, you just keep adding layers to them and you can just keep a stack around for that. I don't think we had any duds today. I mean, we had that one, but we just kept printing on it. It was really good to have that, you know, so that you can see things can be reworked. So there it is. This plate is, I'm considering done for now. I'm going to do the same process of putting it away as I did the big one. We definitely want to take care of these. These are an investment. I've had mine for about 5 years, so they last a long time, especially if you take care of them. So just give them love and take care of them, and they will last you a long time. I'm putting this one away dirty. I'll have all that yummy ink and or paint ready for me the next time I come to print, and I like that. But you can clean yours off if you like that. Whatever makes you happy. Okay, that's it. That is gel printing with me on a random rainy day. Hope you enjoyed it. I hope you're feeling inspired. Again, if you don't have gel plates, well, you might not have even watched this whole video, or you may never have clicked on it in the first place, but you can make painted papers. Here are all the ones we made today. We have varying degrees of thickness, and some of it's copy weight, some of it's cardstock. It's always nice to have options on the weight of your paper. I had so much fun. I hope you did too. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.